gun smuggling along the border, and from all I learned for my subsequent near decade, working the border for the Texas Department of Public Safety's Intelligence and Counterterrorism Division. I knew all too well that every cartel member must be considered mortally dangerous. Even low-level foot guides like Jose had cell phones or radios to instantly report the bosses. Once a call went out about a gringo claiming to be interested in cartel business affairs, vehicles could quickly screech up to block your way, with the gunmen ordering you out of yours and into theirs. Among them might well be the unpredictable, impulsive, and probably coked-up killer types known for going postal without orders. I traveled into cartel country with a rough-hewn, garrulous 50-something fellow gringo named Chris Leland, who served as interpreter and guide. Chris was a perfect choice for this duty, as a lifelong back-and-forth border denizen who'd grown up as a hunter and Rio Grande running guide. I'd asked him to help me find immigrants who could tell me firsthand why their numbers had more than tripled of late. Border Patrol, which typically caught 3,000 to 4,000 crossing there in any given quarter, had caught a whopping 14,091 in the first quarter of 2021. But I couldn't find any to interview. Despite their ubiquity on the streets of other Mexican cities farther south, here they were under the control of La Linea. The syndicate kept them hidden in local stash houses and motels until go time. Over in Texas, big columns of them, 50 or 100 at a time, were getting caught during their 10-day clandestine backpacking treks through the desert wilderness. I later learned that most of the migrants were young, fit Central American men who had mustered La Linea's price tag of $10,000 or $12,000 each for the run. That day, hours of hunting interviewees yielded nothing. One group of 7 we spotted on the street from their telltale backpacks first agreed to be interviewed, and then suddenly sprinted away. A bit later, we discovered Jose and his tailgate party under the bridge and approached. Fortunately, one of the men with Jose recognized Chris as a regular customer at a mechanic shop in town and enthusiastically greeted him. Both men spoke in Spanish over the truck's stereo music, with Chris pausing to translate, telling me that Jose was a guia just back from a trek guiding migrants on foot through the desert. Suddenly, Jose was on his cell phone with someone. A chill swept over me. Under my breath, I told Chris that we could get out of this quickly if we simply got in the vehicle and drove straight onto the bridge, 10 feet overhead. Atop the bridge, I'd just seen a parked U.S. Customs and Border Patrol vehicle with blue uniformed American officers standing by it. But from where we stood below, they'd be of no help whatsoever. On Mexican turf, 10 feet may as well be 1,000 miles. Jose hung up and said something to Chris, who turned to me and relayed, "Jose is willing for you to interview him. That was him on with his boss, and they said, sure, go ahead." So we stayed. Despite the risks, getting to interview a cartel human smuggler about business was rare. Jose began telling me about the enormous economic windfall the immigrants were creating for La Linea in just the past few months, and how he was about to buy a brand new truck. "What do you owe all this to? The money and all the new business?" I asked him. He looked at me and shrugged, turning both palms up. "La invitation." "La invitation. What's that?" I asked. He explained that La Invitación is what he and his cartel buddies were calling the newly elected President Joe Biden's welcome to immigrants to cross the border illegally and stay. He then offered, unsolicited, that one of Biden's early moves had proven especially inviting. The new president ended interior deportations so that ICE officers would leave his clients alone once they'd gotten into American cities to live and work in peace. News had spread quickly around.